A Less Than Royal Narcissist, Part 16. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor, and this is a continuation of the update appertaining to Meghan Markle concerning the events that have occurred over the last year or so. On August the 4th, 2020, Prince William, Kate Middleton and Queen Elizabeth II wished Miss Markle a happy birthday on social media. This was reported by Insider. Their useful summary I'm utilising for the purposes of a timeline of events and analysis thereafter, viewed through the prism of Miss Markle's narcissism. Wishing a very happy birthday to the Duchess of Sussex today, Prince William and Middleton wrote on Twitter alongside a photo of Markle. The Queen's official Twitter account also paid tribute to Miss Markle, sharing a photo of the Duchess and the Queen from their first joint engagement in 2018. Prince Charles and Camilla dedicated a birthday post to the Duchess as well. This will have provided a degree of fuel to Miss Markle, albeit not a large amount because it was in writing, and that is the lowest amount of fuel that can be provided. We prefer that fuel is provided in person because it's a much larger amount. Miss Markle celebrated her 39th birthday in California with Harry and their son Archie. In August, Miss Markle defied the royal family's strict rule about getting involved with politics and revealed she would vote in the next US election. Miss Markle spoke about her decision in Marie Claire's August 2020 digital issue, revealing that she knew what it was like to feel voiceless. Although Miss Markle didn't discuss her political views when she married into the royal family, she was open about her disdain for US President Donald Trump back in 2016. Something that was mutual, as I understand, as he had declared his dislike of her. Later that month, Miss Markle said she looked forward to being part of a change in the United States. To come back and to just see the state of affairs, I think at the onset, if I'm being honest, it was just devastating. From my standpoint, it's not new to see this undercurrent of racism and certainly unconscious bias, but I think to see changes that are being made right now is something I look forward to being a part of, and using my voice in a way that I haven't been able to of late. First of all, the defiance of the royal family's rule about getting involved with politics demonstrates a sense of entitlement and a lack of accountability to the position that was held. It also shows the ability of the narcissist to utilise things to their own benefit. So, joining the royal family provided considerable benefits with regard to the ability to assert control over people through the increased fame and recognition. It increased the opportunity to gather fuel from many, many, many millions of people. An absolute fuel fest from all those tertiary sources. It allowed the gathering of character traits and also of residual benefits. Of course, having acquired them, the narcissist feels no accountability to ensuring that something is provided in return, unless it absolutely suits the narcissist to do so. And as we have seen through various updates, Miss Markle, under the pretense of modernisation, which she genuinely believes in because she is unaware of what she is, would repeatedly flout tradition, convention. Now, of course, there'll be those of you listening thinking, well, that's a good thing. Royal family, it's all a bit fusty and old and need modernising. And indeed, there are aspects of that need to be done. But remember, it's the motivation for those changes which is different. It isn't about the changes for the change's sake, but rather about how it enables the narcissist to achieve those prime aims of control, of fuel, of character traits, and residual benefits. And therefore, this demonstrates a lack of accountability to the institution that is the royal family and the exhibition of a sense of entitlement. The talk about being involved as part of changing things exhibits grandiosity, and also there is an indirect dig by saying that I look forward to being a part of and using my voice in a way that I haven't been able to of late, i.e. I have been shackled and restrained. An indirect smearing. On August the 5th, Miss Markle won a bid to protect the identities of 5 of her friends amid the ongoing Mail on Sunday legal battle. Miss Markle believed that the paper was threatening to publish the names of her friends who had defended the Duchess in an interview with People magazine. That's confidential information, the protection of which at this stage is necessary in the interests of the administration of justice, Judge Justin Warby announced according to the Telegraph newspaper. A source close to Miss Markle told insider, the Duchess felt it was necessary to take this step to try and protect her friends, as any of us would, and we're glad this was clear. We're happy that the judges agreed to protect these 5 individuals. The protection of these 5 individuals is not motivated by emotional empathy. It is done through cognitive empathy. It's the assertion of control over those individuals by doing something to help them, for which they are grateful, but ultimately, of course, benefits the narcissist in terms of facade management and the assertion of control over the relevant newspaper. In August, Markle sat down with icon Gloria Steinem and called Prince Harry a feminist. Again, there was a photo opportunity provided of Meghan Markle and Gloria Steinem sat on the lawn in garden furniture, again courting publicity, facade management, assertion of control, the drawing of fuel. And Miss Markle told Steinem during their chat, "I look at our son and what a beautiful example that he gets to grow up with a father who is so comfortable owning that as part of his own self-identification." This, of course, is the character trait acquisition and the seeing other people as an extension of themselves. I, myself, wouldn't really see Prince Harry as a feminist, given some of his behaviour in the past. An empathic individual. Yes, feminist, I think that's stretching it. And that is where the narcissist sees Prince Harry as an extension of herself and imposes her own identity on him, subsuming him into herself, a common behaviour by the chameleon that is the narcissist. Such a comment, of course, is again facade management and the assertion of control. On August the 31st, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex planted flowers in honour of Princess Diana on the anniversary of her death. They planted forget-me-nots, Diana's favourite flower, with children at the Preschool Learning Centre in Los Angeles, which provides support to local low-income families. Again, courting publicity. And, of course, from Prince Harry's perspective, this was done indeed to honour his mother. And Miss Markle, again, commandeering, and this is a common theme with regard to positioning herself as the new Diana, something which has been demonstrated with gestures and clothing that she has copied, and is a common trait of the narcissist. This is the character trait acquisition. And therefore, this is being done, although done in an unaware manner, to manage the facade and assert control over people generally. On September the 2nd, it was announced that Harry and Miss Markle had founded their own production company and signed a multi-year deal with Netflix. The couple planned to produce documentaries, docuseries, feature films, scripted television shows, and children's programming under the new production company, the New York Times initially reported. "Our focus will be on creating content that informs but also gives hope," the Duke and Duchess told the Times. "As new parents, making inspirational family programming is also important to us." Grandiosity, facade management. Days later, it was announced that Harry and Miss Markle had paid back $3 million of taxpayers' money they had used to renovate Frogmore Cottage, their royal residence. A spokesperson confirmed that the Duke had paid the bill in full by making a contribution to the sovereign grant. It appeared to show that Harry and Prince Harry and Miss Markle had fulfilled their wish of becoming financially independent from the royal family. Again, ordinarily, a narcissist would operate through a sense of entitlement, not to make repayment, but where it serves a purpose for facade management, this will be undertaken. A narcissist will do helpful things for people if it serves a purpose in terms of allowing the narcissist to assert control or to nullify a threat to control, to manage a facade, and to gain other benefits. So, for example, many narcissists engage in transactional help. Quite simply, we will only do things if there's something in it for us. It is not done in an altruistic method, born out of emotional empathy. On September the 22nd, Prince Harry joined Miss Markle in urging Americans to vote in the US presidential election. Now, some of you might wonder, what's it got to do with Prince Harry? He's British and he's not American. But of course, this is where that he is being controlled in an implicit manner by his wife, as she once again regards herself as important and speaking on a platform of grandiosity about the need to vote. Now, of course, again, voting is an important matter, and encouraging people to vote is hardly a crime. But remember, it has to be viewed through the prism of the narcissism, and this is yet a further example of grandiosity. And this is evidenced by statements such as this: every 4 years, we are told the same thing, that this is the most important election of our lifetime. But this one is, Miss Markle said. When we vote, our values are put into action and our voices are heard. Your voice is a reminder that you matter, because you do, and you deserve to be heard. In October, the Duke and Duchess had a virtual chat with activist Malala Yousafzai and spoke about seeing their son Archie grow up. Again, courting more publicity, facade management, showing the contradictory behaviour with regard to the desire for apparent privacy. In November 2020, it was reported that the royal family was upset that they were missing out on the chance to watch Archie grow up. A friend of Prince Charles who spoke to Mail Online said everyone really misses Archie, adding that the Prince regularly visited Markle and Prince Harry before they moved to California. The Prince of Wales enjoyed popping into Frogmore Cottage to see his youngest grandchild, and is sad that he hasn't seen him for so long, the Fred added. He's missed much of his development since he's growing up in the United States. Other members of the family are very sad at not seeing him. Everyone really misses Archie. They feel it's particularly sad for the Queen and Prince Philip. Harry always said he looked forward to raising his family with Williams, which of course is not now happening. Here we see an incident of two narcissists colliding. Prince Charles is one, and similarly unaware, he asserts control by expressing his apparent sadness at not seeing his grandchild growing up. And it's a form of pity play. At the same time, of course, this exhibits the impact of the narcissist in pulling Harry and their son away from the royal family and moving to the United States, all part of the assertion of control through isolation. And it also demonstrates that we're correct that Harry always said he looked forward to raising his family with Williams, the influence upon him whereby he has changed his position on this and, of course, many other matters as a consequence of the influence of a narcissist. On November the 8th, it was revealed that Prince Harry's request to take part in the royal family's Remembrance Sunday service had been turned down. The Duke of Sussex reportedly asked that a wreath be laid on his behalf at the cenotaph, where the Queen and members of the royal family led tributes to those who died in the two world wars and other conflicts. However, he was denied on the grounds that he is no longer representing the monarchy, according to the Times. Harry and Miss Markle instead paid their respects at the Los Angeles National Cemetery, where they laid flowers that the Duchess picked from their garden at the grave sites of two Commonwealth soldiers. This refusal on the part of the Queen in following the relevant protocol, and although might be judged as somewhat harsh, of course the royal family follows tradition and its adherence to protocol. This, of course, would wound because it appertained to both Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. He is part of Miss Markle viewed through her narcissistic perspective, and therefore, in order to reject that threat to control, they take an alternative step and therefore publicly laid flowers at the Los Angeles National Cemetery and were photographed doing so, Prince Harry wearing a poppy and his medals. On November the 25th, Miss Markle penned a candid New York Times op-ed article that revealed that she'd had a miscarriage in July. In the article titled "Losses We Share," Miss Markle wrote that she felt a sharp cramp one morning as she was changing her son's diaper. "I dropped to the floor with him in my arms, humming a lullaby to keep us both calm. The cheerful tune a stark contrast to my sense that something was not right," she added. "I knew as I clutched my firstborn child that I was losing my second. Hours later, I lay in a hospital bed, holding my husband's hand. I felt the clamminess of his palm and kissed his knuckles, wet from both our tears. Staring at the cold white walls, my eyes glazed over. I tried to imagine how we'd heal." Whilst an event of a miscarriage is understandably one which is upsetting for the relevant individual, it's a private matter, and one which is kept between family and close friends, not utilised as the purpose of an article. Now, of course, yes, in this instance, the article is utilised to try and talk about something that happens to many, many women worldwide. But again, remember, it must be looked at through the narcissist's prism, and that means that this isn't about any actual sadness, because narcissists don't feel sadness. It is about the utilisation of it for the purposes of a pity play, the assertion of control, and facade management. Also, the rather descriptive nature of feelings, etc., associated with all of that demonstrate a degree of grandiosity. It is unnecessary to go into the detail appertaining to this, that you need to showcase and explain the feelings and what would happen next, talking about, I try to imagine how we'd heal. Such behaviours, again, when viewed through the lens of the narcissism, are indicative of the utilisation of an event, any event, which can be used by the narcissist unwittingly, of course, where you're dealing with an unaware narcissist for the pursuit of the prime aims. This is what nothing is off limits. There is no shame. So this is why, for example, at somebody else's birthday party, some narcissists will knock over the birthday cake and create a fuss and a scene. You'll be familiar with this. And also commonly at funerals. If there is a narcissist in attendance, they will often make a big song and dance, wailing and crying, "Oh, how I missed Uncle Johnny. I was so close to him. He was my favourite uncle." Other members of the family look on at the wailing niece and query, why on earth is she saying that? She hadn't seen him in the last 3 years of his life. The hypocrisy being exhibited, but it doesn't matter, because the funeral has to be about the narcissist, not about the deceased. And again, any action, activity, or event will be utilised by a narcissist for the pursuit of the prime aims, including ones which are intimate and private, or that they supposedly should be. On December the 29th, Harry and Miss Markle released the first episode of their new podcast, Archwell Audio, on Spotify. Sir Elton John, Tyler Perry, James Corden, arsehole, Naomi Osaka, Stacey Abrams and Matt Haig all appeared in the episode, as did the couple's son, Archie. It was the first time Archie had been heard speaking publicly, sparking questions on whether he had a British or American accent. A day later, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex launched the Archwell website for their non-profit organisation. It also has information about their Archwell audio podcast, which exclusively streams on Spotify, as part of a deal the couple struck with streaming giant and Archwell Productions to partnership with Netflix. Harry and Miss Markle used the site launch to share a letter to 2021, grandiosity, saying they hoped for a better world. "We believe in the best of humanity," the couple said, "because we have seen the best of humanity. We have experienced compassion and kindness from our mothers and strangers alike." Again, issuing such a statement and involving numerous famous people demonstrates grandiosity and facade management as a part of an assertion of control. In January 2021, it was reported that Prince Harry and Miss Markle would be expected to attend the Queen's 95th birthday celebrations in June. The parade, which usually consists of 1,400 parading soldiers, 200 horses and 400 musicians at Buckingham Palace, will likely be scaled down to adhere to any social distancing restrictions that will be in force. If Prince Harry and Miss Markle are able to attend the event on June the 12th, it also means that they will likely be there to celebrate Prince Philip's 100th birthday on June the 10th. News of Prince Harry and Miss Markle's expected attendance came amid reports that the couple this year would be a time of healing for the royal family. Speaking to People magazine, a source close to the couple said they are hoping 2021 can be a time of healing, not just for the world but for their family. Again, facade management, grandiosity, and it'll be interesting to see whether there is attendance. Of course, the fact that they are expected to attend would issue a threat to control, and as the various events that have demonstrated through this update, any threat to Miss Markle's control is met by a similar response to nullify that threat to control, breaking convention, moving away, issuing statements, and this has continued to be the case. Recently, of course, Miss Markle succeeded in her legal action against the Daily Mail, although it was only part of the claim that succeeded, and there remain other issues which remain extant, and it is understood that an appeal has been launched. Of course, that success is an assertion of control over the newspaper. It will bolster the facade, and fuel will be drawn from it. But it is not yet over, and there were no doubt further twists and turns appertaining to that legal action. Narcissists are notoriously litigious. The reason being is that it provides a means for the assertion of control over individuals, whereas in other instances it would be just as easy to move on. Indeed, many narcissists are litigious because of the alternate perspective by which they look at the world, occasioned by the narcissistic perspective. This update demonstrates once again the continuances of the behaviour, showing the facade management, the manipulation of Prince Harry and other people, the isolation from the royal family, the continuing behaviours which all continue to support the narcissistic perspective and narcissistic dynamic that exist in this instance. Prince Harry remains completely unaware of what he's dealing with. He has been isolated from his family and, no doubt, friends, moved elsewhere, but has bought into the idea that this is the appropriate thing to do to protect his family, and as an empathic individual, it's entirely understandable that he would take these steps. Moreover, he's not the sharpest knife in the knife drawer, and is, as a consequence of not being the most intelligent of individuals and empathic, particularly easy to control, as has been demonstrated by the way that he has been moved away from perceived interfering influences, and has set up a completely different life, removing him step by step in an instinctive salami slicing of him away from the royal family and all that it stands for. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.